First, we're affected by what we know. When I talk to the kids in high school classes, college classes, that's the first thing I tell them. Get the information while you're here. Right? Nothing worse than being stupid when you get out of school. So get the information. Being broke is bad, but being stupid is what's really bad. And what's really, really bad is being broke and stupid. Nothing much worse than that, unless you're sick. Right? Sick, broke, and stupid. That's about as far as you can fall unless you're ugly, right? But surely that would be the ultimate, right? The ultimate negative life. Ugly, sick, broke, and stupid. So learn all you can. We're affected by what we know. So get the information. Don't be lazy in learning. Don't be lazy in going through the books, building your library, coming to classes like this consistently. Some of them will be so dramatic, your life will never be the same. Maybe this is one of those today. Next, we're affected by how we feel, attitude. This is the emotional part. We need the intellectual part to set sail. So as the winds blow, we can still get where we want to go. Redefine, keep strengthening our psychological and philosophical guidance system.
Enterprise is always better than ease. Every time we choose to do less than we possibly can, it affects our self-confidence, our self-worth. If we keep doing a little less every day, a little less, we are also being a little less. Can you imagine what you'd end up being after 10 years of doing a little less every day? It's devastating. Think about it. Doing less could ruin your life. Now you can reverse the process of doing a little less. You alter the course by doing a little more each day. A little more. And pretty soon you'll develop a new habit of doing rather than neglecting. And days and weeks and months of doing a little more will ultimately do what? It'll increase your confidence and your courage and your creativity and your self-worth. In the end, it's how we feel about ourselves that provides us with the increased courage and creativity for self-enterprise.
You have that quality within you. When you're hungry, you don't care about the facts. You don't care about the art. There's greatness in you. And you've got to learn how to tune out the critics outside and the critic inside. And since I'm going to do this, I'm going to harness my will. And I'm not going to let anything stop me. I deserve this. I'm going to do it until. And this friend, I told him, said, start increasing your calls. I said, I make 100 calls a day. The other thing is that if you want something, you have got to be relentless. You've got to learn how to become resourceful. You've got to learn how to become creative. When crises strike in your life, and in the Chinese language, crisis means danger, but it also means opportunity. And this is an opportunity for you to grow. And you've got to be so relentless, regardless of what comes down the pike, that you're always looking for a way to get over, always looking for a way that you can break through, and always looking for a way that you can strike a telling blow. Live your life with passion, with some drive. You've got to watch the people, the relationships that you develop. Have people of kindred mindsets. If you're around folk who are dead and negative all the time, they will affect you. You want people that are around you that have smiles on their faces, looking good. So you've got to watch your countenance, watch your face, have an uplifted expression, watch your body posture. All of these things affect you psychically. You've got to be the kind of person that you are fearless. You are unstoppable. And because you are unstoppable, because you've got power that you haven't even begun to use yet.
I'm Jonathan Dugan from Las Vegas, Nevada, and I am a lifestyle and mindset coach for Heroes Academy, along with a podcast interviewer on YouTube. Now, my question is for Alex Benayan. Now, I heard you talk about one time that 99% of people in this world view their mistakes as enemies, and 1% views their mistakes as friends. My question is that there's a lot of individuals right now that feel defeated, on the verge of giving up. They might be fearful of an uncertain future, or they might be dwelling on the mistakes or failures that they have experienced in the past months or year. How do we begin to transition, to transform our relationship with fear and failure into a healthy relationship as if it were our friends, best friends, an opportunity to grow, to learn, to see a brighter future? How do we begin to transform failure and fear into friendship?
Another quick story. So I didn't have money for a car, and my X19 with the hole in the floorboard had died. And so I literally, the way I got my car was I saw a car that was stranded on the side of the road, this old Camaro. And I forget exactly how, but I figured out which bank had put the money up for it for somebody to buy. And I called the bank and I said, would you let me pick up the payments on this? You know, only I need you to lower the payments down a little bit. And they said yes. So I had this, 1980-something Trans Am that I was able to use. But the point being that you just have to do things you never think you're going to have to do in order to survive and get through it. Those first couple months, I remember thinking to myself, I'm in business 2 months now. I remember getting to the point where I had $15,000 in sales probably 6 months into the company, and I'm still living in the shithole and thinking, okay, I can do this. And along the way, it was lots of trial and error. There were things that were new to me, things that were terrifying to me, things that were I would break out in a sweat. But I always remember going into my customers and just trying to be brutally honest and say to them, if I can help you, right? If I can bring value, if I can make your company more competitive, more profitable, will you work with me? And you don't have to put money. I'll do the work to prove it. And if I get it done, then we'll figure it all out. Or they agree to a price and then they'll pay it at that point. And one by one, I just kept on making customers happy, and lost some. For every one I lost, picked up 3. And I was so nervous about the whole thing that I couldn't imagine slowing down, and so people talk about life, family balance. I had none. I literally remember dating some girl, and this is the truth. And it was like we'd been dating a couple years, and like, Mark, you're so into your work. I want a picket fence. I want a house. I want kids. It's me or your job. And I was like, or me or your company. And I was like, what's your name again? I'm like, if you don't know me well enough by now after dating 2 years to know that I'm driven on this. There was no balance.
For me, I think it's individual, much like I think diet is, and a lot of things is preference and finding what works. I think a lot of people, they give away their sovereignty and a lot of their power to other people as an expert or as a guru, if you will. But I think the ultimate expert is ourself. And I really do believe self-awareness is a superpower, like knowing yourself. For me to feel totally fulfilled, and if people want to be successful, be happy, I think it comes down to 2 things. I think it comes down to having the curiosity to want to know yourself, like really go deep about who are you, what are your beliefs, and what do you really value, what do you stand for, what do you stand against, all these different things, your capabilities, your habits, your routines. So having that self-awareness, the curiosity to know yourself. But once you know yourself, I think a lot of people might know themselves, but you also need the courage to be yourself too. Like once you know yourself, you need to be able to have that courage, that boldness to really live it. Because I really do believe we're talking about learning from other people. And it really, I can learn, I was just teaching a bunch of children, 6-year-olds, right? And I love working with children. They were from like 30 different countries, from different economic backgrounds and everything. And I was saying that I can learn from all of them. Because, it's asking these questions. They have this sense of wonder. They have this sense of play, if you will. Because I believe, ultimately, the life we live are the lessons we teach. The life we live are the lessons we teach to other people. And it's not about what we say. So many people just say, they can say things all the time. But if they're not doing those things, I feel like we don't really understand it. And I think really when it comes down life well lived is not just the words, because words, it's better well done than well said. But so many of us are shrinking sometimes, and you must see this, Brian, because we value other people's opinions so much and their expectations so much, and we don't really know ourselves. And even if we are getting glimpses of it, it's hard in this world to be ourselves when you have, so many people are living a life, it's their parents, ideas for them, or it's the Joneses or something like that. And I think you could really go broke buying into other people's opinions, and their expectations. And so coming back to this, when we're talking about human memory and learning, I just feel like we're here to grow, and we're here to give. And that's when we feel the most empowered. So it's like knowing who we are and then being who we are.